Hello, and welcome to the footage I got when I was at the Southport Airshow. Disclaimer, none of the main stuff they do is here, but we still get a bunch of parades and we see a bunch of cool aircrafts. So, still worth watching, in my opinion.
1, 2, 3, cheer! So wave them back guys, we'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, cheer! Just confirm from the pilot, they all heard you, well done. Make sure you're that loud when they get back onto the ground.
I've lost track of this plane. Right, there it is.
Tiger's Army parachute display team was developed in 1986 and back then it was known as the Flying Dragons. Over the period we've had a number of team members, been over 55 team members since then, all highly qualified and parachutists. The come-up display jump over needs a minimum of 200%, clearance from our chain of command, and a lot of training to go with it. Our capabilities involve canopy formation, wingsuiting,
Fox time.
formation skydiving, free flying, and obviously display jumping.
Why?
He's just going to practice the wind run. It looks like they're doing a low show, ladies and gentlemen. If you look up, you can see one of the guys up the aircraft. He's now trailing with smoke. And there he goes, into free fall. This is the first free fall group. 1, 2, 3 out. Give him a cheer, ladies and gentlemen. 4 out. 5.
Not the best times of this track.
And 6. They're all out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Here they are.
Everybody in the trailing smoke. There's some flags there. First one down is Private Will Sims. He's got the Union Jack flag. What he's going to be doing is coming towards the crowd line.
A little dot.
So he's going to make his turn into the smoke you can see onto the ground. Let's give him a nice big cheer. 1, 2, 3, cheer! Well done, Southport, keep it going, keep clapping them in. The two flags that you can see there, we've got the Army flag and we've got the Union flag. These are 200 square foot. And he's down, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here he goes. Well held, well done.
He can definitely think about it.
Bringing the Army flag then is Sergeant Frank Miller.
Oh, there we
Next we've got Private Botwright. Coming last in then is Corporal Eddie Rudd. He's got the little Union Jack. Give him a nice big cheer, ladies and gentlemen. You get split up.
Safe to say, that took some guts. Fascinating, mental, seeing people doing stuff that you'd never do. I would never skydive.
As you say, the Airshow Village this year is going to be huge. Normally, I would pick a load of things out, and I'll do that later on, but I think for now, just go down and have a look. Have a look. Yes, it's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Yes, so here he is, the smoking on, and that's the classic call, of course. Please welcome Richard Goodwin in JTV, the Muscle Viper. That's a pretty stunning way to arrive at an air show, isn't it? It's a very impressive feature completely, and you can see it is just made for action, isn't it? And Richard Goodwin's one of those guys who's got just extreme capability and real stamina as well, and an intensity of performance that he just will throw in any manoeuvres rather than fly in a straight line.
Of course, it doesn't come without an awful lot of preparation and training, and that is the importance of this sort of flight. Skill of the pilot, and of course the definition. Areas upside down, and we'll talk a little bit more about how these various G's affect you. You know, you've heard the Typhoon guys talking about putting 9G. Well, it's an awful lot of action. Here now, tumbling and rolling the aircraft as he gains a bit of height. And energy management is something that's also critical. That's all about making use, really, of the height and speed that you have in the aircraft. Now, this bevel inverted turn is pretty tricky, and he's got to keep that negative G on for quite some while before then pulling out. As I said, rarely going straight on. So Curtis Pitt's the brainchild behind this fleet of aircraft, and my word, have they got a history of excellence right across the world. A really outstanding machine. Developed pretty much around about 44, 45, just straight at the end of the war, and then going into refining the prototype's ability to perform, which it does extremely well. Several of the aircraft he built had pictures of a skunk on them, and they were called stinkers in those days. And Betty Skelton was a lady who made this aircraft famous across the States, and she called her aircraft the Little Stinker. And I thought also a great achievement that it was a lady that actually added notable fame to the early development of aerobatics with this particular aircraft. Got a huge legacy of international teams, very popular in Britain in the 70s, but also with the national aerobatic team in the United States, who won the World Championships back in 1972. But all the various teams that we had, under the likes of Brian McComber and Rossman and everything, really outstanding. So Richard ties together throughout the courses, as you can see, multiple maneuvers every second is required. Particular aircraft, his follow-on aircraft from G Wiz, built over a 4-year period.
Well, I'm not a storage, hopefully I haven't missed too much.
And he was climbing up there and just hanging on the residual power of the propeller there before literally just letting it sink and flop back. Now using the energy from that. Well, he's actually still holding there. I haven't quite gone gyroscopic yet, but literally that is just an amazing achievement, isn't it? Is it a helicopter? Is it a plane? No, it's just Richard Goodwin flying his pit special. Really, really superb airmanship. Quite fantastic. Then he lets it go, having drifted down. Now the bus and bike lanes they're referred to are specially modified to provide this ultimate aerobatic aerial entertainment. It isn't your average regular pit special, of course, and you can't just buy this off the shelf. It's had an extensive modification program, and that allows it to perform this extraordinary brand of its own personal aerobatics. Near the roar of that engine at the heart of the balloon, of course, the power of this 8.5-litre six-cylinder Lycoming engine, equipped with all the extras of a massive smoke system. And thinking of the environment, have no fears, the majority of smoke used in air shows now is all environmentally friendly stuff. It's a form of a product called Ondina, which is essentially a baby oil. So we mentioned G. Right now you're all walking around or sitting at 1G. That's just your normal body weight. If we were to exert a lot of pressure on it, either by accelerating you into the sky very fast or putting a load on your head and pushing down, we can increase your body weight by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It goes on, of course. And that's what we're doing in this particular aircraft. And in most aerobatic performances, to get a fast jet around a corner, for example, you've got to pull G, otherwise you just use up most of the sky. So when you're putting more G positively, so he's not here, he's upside down at the moment, but he'll soon put a twist in and then pull up. And that is when we reverse the blood flow. So there he's pushing against himself, so it's negative G, and all the blood is rushing to his head. It's very uncomfortable in it, but you can't really prepare too much for other than train. But now putting a bit of positive G, which is putting his pull out of this. His body weight but doing a side step at the same time as he's climbing and rolling as well for Goodwin. That's a clever bit of flying for British there. So positive G you can train for using various manoeuvres and exercises around the torso of your body to stop the blood draining down into your legs. Much beyond 6G, very, very difficult without some sort of protection system, which of course all modern RAF jets do. Now, here he is preparing for his tower of power, just using a bit of time now to cool the engine down a little bit and also prepare himself for the next series of manoeuvres. It's a bit of a sort of pause check, and they need to do this to get all the parameters right, of course checking the performance of the engine as well. Before then, here he is using all the energy that he's got available from the speed and also the dive down, and now pull out into another series of rolling continuity. And that is his tower of power, and it keeps going up and up, and he rolls and rolls. Now using that power of the prop, going and gyroscopic, just literally, they say, hanging onto the prop, and that is what it's doing. He'll let it split back now through his own smoke system. You'll see him emerge out of the bottom of that smoke very shortly. There he is. Real high achiever in the aerobatic genre, and a really committed engineer as well. It's a bit like putting yourself into a washing machine and selecting fast stitch. Now all sorts of other little changes have been made to this aircraft as well. The original gear removed and the engine mounts modified to take sprung gear legs and a new cowling around the engine which reduces the weight and also the drag profile of the aircraft. Now when he's flying on its edge, you can actually use the fuselage, of course, to give yourself some lift as well, which is quite handy. But he's also modified the rudder. He's designing it to look better, more powerful as well, gives him what we call yaw control. And also the wings that I mentioned earlier on, giving that main control. So combining a lot of high energy gyroscopic maneuvers here, and I think you'll agree, a superbly dynamic machine, and the sky is clearing perfectly to see the shapes. They're all given lots of different names, roulards and longevacs, all sorts, and you'll hear more of this through the course of the day, and particularly when the blades do their outstanding performance as well towards the tail end of the afternoon. So you've seen it hover like a Harrier, you've seen the hammerheads, you've seen the tower of power, and you've seen a good number of torque rolls as well. We'll be positioning shortly to his signature farewell, and when he does that, he'll be looking out through the top of the canopy at you, boys and girls, so do give him a big wave when he does that, won't you? He just loves performing around the airshow circuit. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you got hats, coats, umbrellas, ice creams, give Richard Goodwin a fantastic Southport wave as he completes his very much this afternoon's return to there you see just putting a boot in the rudder left and right as well, and puffing a bit of smoke on and off, but actually he's adding a little bit extra. Now he normally finishes off with that manoeuvre, but it's just great. Here we go, freewheeling again. And once again, into the hover. Quite extraordinary manoeuvre. Hanging on to the prop. Like a big bumblebee, isn't it?
That's incredible. The hover is incredible.
And now he's decided that's the end. So I think he's doing that bang on time. We're on schedule, which is really, really good news. And that was Richard Goodwin bidding farewell until tomorrow. The first, I think, of our really special treats in many, many ways, because
sometimes wonder how people even have guts to do
aircraft
it.
is
Never
a very,
do it in
very
front of
special
hundreds,
aircraft,
if not thousands.
and it has
People
a
are
direct provenance. And what a wonderful sight that is back here at Southport. An absolutely outstanding machine. One of 1,000 aircraft built at Castle Bromwich.
I missed
37 maintenance unit initially, before then being assigned to 315 Squadron on the 7th of May 1942, and then 317 Squadron shortly after in September, both at Woodbury.
Epic Coinky. Right, I've lost track. Let the plane go. Somewhere up there.
We'll hear so much more. We have a couple of other Spitfires to come during the course of the day, but of course, the immortal memory of R.J. Mitchell and his outstanding team lives on. And a classic performer, outstripping and eventually replacing the Hurricane in the frontline combat role. Developed in well over 22 different marks, over 20,000 of them made altogether. Suffered some damage to this aircraft early on, not from combat aircraft, but actually was involved in a taxiing incident. Returned, repaired, back into service again. Like so many of these warbirds, they languished and transferred to structural airframes or were on gate guards at various locations. But was eventually, as several others were actually recovered and used for background work on the famous film Battle of Britain, and was at Timeless Studios until August 1968, before then being returned to the Royal Air Force in Gateshead. Well, a man who now is involved in running aviation spectacles at Old Warden. That's a marvellous airfield, a marvellous collection of aircraft. Tim Roussis, founder of Historic Flying, recovered the aircraft and along with the Royal Air Force embedded it into the Historic Aircraft Collection in 1993. Wonderful underbelly shot there, displaying that iconic design, the elliptical wing, giving it its speed, but just thick enough, of course, to get the all-important undercarriage embedded within it, and then the even more important Browning machine guns in the early part of the war, and then latterly, of course, the 20mm cannons. This aircraft also with a very, very true Polish provenance alongside it as well. Team who own this have been in touch with, in the past, with a number of Polish veterans who were members of the 315 and 317 squadrons. They were reunited with the aircraft back in 2000, with leader Ludwig Martel and Tadeusz Anders. And their signatures, which they embedded in the aircraft when they were reunited with it, live on inside the cockpit door today. Should there be any connections with any of those families here with us today from those Polish squadrons, then please do get in touch. The team are always looking out for interesting stories, photographs and other historical information about the aircraft. Logbooks, so on and so forth. Quite remarkable. Flown today by Dave Harvey, himself a hugely accomplished pilot with well over 8,000 flying hours now on a variety of Royal Air Force frontline fighters and of course numerous warbirds as well. Like all old aircraft, as well as senior pilots too, they're all treated very gently, never overstressing the aircraft to ensure the longevity for future generations to be able to enjoy wonderful sight and sound. It's a perfect mix of classic design, both with the airframe and of course the outstanding success of the Rolls-Royce Merlin engines. More on Rolls-Royce later on of course, because they are here representing themselves and the aircraft as a company a little later on during the air display.
Over how beautiful it is.
Just enjoy the last few minutes of this aircraft now. I know how much you would love to just enjoy the sight and sound as I do as well. It's a mythological experience, and against that sky you can just conjure up so many memories, can't you? Buzzing about in the sky that must be going on in those critical years, 1940.
Trying to think about the history that this aircraft probably has. I know it's really close to me.
And they just came up on the air there to say that it's just about done. So you know what to do, don't you? Right? It's a terrific display. There's nothing better than a lone Spitfire. And we're going to, I can't believe this lineup of aircraft today. We're going to see it again a little later on. So what have you got? Give him away. Dave Harvey here in this wonderful Polish Mark 5 Spitfire. Look at that, off into the wild beauty on that. You don't get much better than that.
It's good. You've said this over the last few years. If it looks right, it'll fly right.
Lost, I'll be back on it. I have. Back on my vision. tell me that thing is a wake of art without being wrong.
Yeah, we've got to see how far down he is. He might be nearly finished. Not bad. We did knock one off yesterday when I was
Lost it again. And now it's storage run out again.
Let's see our next.
I didn't catch as much of that because half the time I lost the plane, part of the time the storage was full, which is nice.
Well, it's actually been displaying aircraft since way back in 1984, and that was after 21 years before it aired. So this guy has got a lot of airtime, a lot of experience. It's also a delightful little aircraft. He used to fly these a decade or so ago myself, and I've got to say, I love every minute of it. Really nice handling aircraft, lovely visibility to the cockpit as well, and superbly aerobatic at the same time. Limited power, however, and that brings us back to something I mentioned earlier on, which is energy management. So you generally start at a highish profile, so you keep that momentum going. Putting in a stall turn there, you see, just putting in a big foot of rudder, basically, while trying to keep the aircraft in a vertical position just before it runs out of airspeed. It's really, really important to get the precision and timing absolutely right. Lovely big barrel roll there, as if you are flying around the outside of the large barrels. Plenty more of those still continuous to come during the rest of the air show.
Best one in a while.
Gentle manoeuvring going from left to right. Keeping the slope full. Now here's an example. You're asking about the effect of the wind. Well, this light aircraft at no speed may have a tendency to blow towards the air, so as you drift out towards the northwest towards Blackpool, and it'll just push a little more gently out into the wind to make sure that it keeps its spacing absolutely spot on. But you don't need to teach this guy much, as I say, he's just full of experience. Delightful little aircraft. And he keeps it all well within the power and the capability range, rarely exceeding 3 to 3.5 G. So very, very comfortable experience. A nice comfortable cockpit as well.
I think this is a fascinating jet, and I think you've seen it in these 2 minutes.
He spent most of his time flying on operations, particularly on Hunters and Jaguars. A bit of time on Hawks, Provost, Meteor, Gnat and Chipmunk.
I won't film too much now, but
Strike Command Hunter display pilot, way back in 1972, 73. He put in around 50 public displays over those two seasons, and was the winner of the very first WD&A, a wonderful maritime attack helicopter. No one generation of helicopters specifically secured
I had to.
brilliant. Imagine you're not just doing this rebate job, but actually you're doing it on the back of a bouncing and the heating Royal Navy frigate.
I was born.
Not for the same
Raised in the Royal Navy.
might look a bit like a loose, but it's certainly not. It replaced the market. It's got a more powerful engine, allowing it to be flown in more extreme conditions.
Right next.
Walking around, also equipped more robust fuselage, a high-tech interactive display, and a new radar system as well, giving 300
People up there. I feel bad for them.
Going around the country with black cats. That's a bit of a interesting term as well. Yeah, black cat later.
That's not a helicopter, that is.
An 85 metres down.
Very interesting. As I said, I'm only filming part of this, so I don't run out of storage. Really fascinating.
Maneuvering sideways in position hover whilst circling through 360 degrees. But this is also an attack helicopter because it is able to carry Stingray torpedoes and also a door-mounted 0.5-inch heavy machine gun, in addition to light and heavy variants of the future anti-surface guided weapon missiles as well. So pretty meaty machine this. May not look it, but it certainly can deliver a punch when necessary. This one nicknamed Tall in the Saddle, a little story to follow on about that, but this aircraft pretty much probably the most successful long-range fighter escort of World War II.
How's it on the side?
Designed for the British in just 120 days to meet their requirement to purchase more fighters. First Mustangs were actually built with Allison engines, which were okay at low altitudes, but weren't particularly good at higher altitudes. 1942 onwards, the aircraft was transformed with the addition of the Rolls-Royce Learning engine, which then harmonised alongside development of the P-51B and Cs initially, and then eventually.
I think that's the last of that I'll catch.
Operating long journey to that area in 1945. Well, that has an interesting background to it as well, because aircraft at the time of the 332nd Fighter Group of the 99 Fighter Squadron, the reference made to them at the time was the Goodwin test.
That's all I got. I know I didn't get any of the main stuff, but I will next year, because this is going to be an event. Thank you. See you next time.